Mind if we stop by the waterfall on this trip? I could use a few moments to unwind. It's good to be home.
Andreja, thank goodness. We were worried.
Why? Was there concern that I would not contribute to the mission?
No, of course not. We thought you might be hurt.
Oh, then thank you, but it was not necessary. We succeeded.
Look at you two. I'm jealous. I tried following up on some leads myself, but came back empty-handed.
They could be anywhere, can't they? Embedded in a rock, or in the hands of an unsuspecting novelty goods trader?
All right, you got me. I'll scrape something together for you.
A couple of scans from the eye. But it looks like you got there first. Shame on me for taking the scenic route, huh? I wasn't aware we were competing, but game on.
Oh no, don't you two start. We're supposed to be working together, not competing.
What's wrong with a little rivalry here and there? I think it pushes us to be at our best.
Or causes nothing but arguments.
Arguments which then breed distrust. Noel is right, Mateo.
Well, I suppose there was that one time, and then the other. What do you think? A little competition can't be that bad, can it? Exactly. We're all friends here. Why shouldn't we want to bring out the best in each other?
The best shouting, you mean? The halls of the lodge echo, you know.
I'm siding with Mateo on this one as well. I find that a little competition is the spark people need to push themselves to achieve their goals.
You know what? I just realized I completely overtook this whole conversation. This should be about you and Andreja celebrating a win for the group.
I do not mind being asked to join in a debate. It was good to hear everyone's sides. But I do agree that we accomplished something together. Thank you for your help.
You're a kind person, Mateo.
I have no objections. Let us see what else we can find out there.
Noel, pulling some interesting data from those new artifacts. Tell the Rook to meet me back on board the station.
Roger that, Vladimir. He's on his way.
Whew. Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship. Yes, I would say that the proper adjustments are being made. The most difficult part has been acclimating to what you perceive as the more insignificant customs.
Interesting. Such as?
Let me think. Oh, yes. Here's a particularly
strange one. After a person sneezes, someone invariably invokes the phrase, "bless you." Oddly strange to administer absolution after witnessing a bodily function. Oh, I'm sure there was a perfectly good reason that expression was connected to sneezing, but I'm afraid it's lost to time. That is a shame. I would like to have understood the specific etymology of those words. Well, I don't think that's necessary, Andresia. It's enough to know that being courteous to others is the right thing to do. Docking cycle complete.
Is mining on the schedule today?
Here, I have something for you. No obligation. I wanted to. I saw it earlier and thought you might like it. Or find it useful. Or, well, whatever. No, there's no trouble. We look out for each other. It is just what friends do, is it not? I will keep an eye out in the future. And if I see something, I might hold on to it for you.
Ah, hello.
You do not need to ask me if you may ask. You may just ask. You might find it absurd, but honestly, the Lodge. I have never been surrounded by such a remarkable group of people, present company included. It has been a very long time since I have been someplace that could possibly feel like home. There are worlds beyond count out there, but that feeling is rare and precious. I have done so in the past, when necessary, but I am not the best pilot, and it seems prudent to apply my skills where they are most useful. Lately, that means aiding you. And that, I think, has worked out very well. Honestly, I cannot answer that. So many years have been driven by survival in intense circumstances. Leisure time has been in short supply. And I suppose I have conditioned myself to not think about it much. I do enjoy combat training, though I suppose that is hardly the answer you are looking for. You have given me something to consider. Thank you for that. I enjoy the conversation.
Ah, yes, we are done.
Any adventure you can fly away from. Is that how the saying goes?
How can I be of service, Captain?
Now that those artifacts aren't just blips of hope in the Blackest Sea, I found an interesting pattern. The grav anomaly generated by one of those artifacts, it matches one on another planet. A bigger one. This one has been in my list of possible artifact sites for a while, but the profile didn't quite match. Now that we've gotten more artifacts, the similarities are as clear as day. All right, let me transfer over the data. But I need you wearing caution's boots for this one. No telling what this thing is or why it's so large. Going to send you the mark close as I can, but I'm having trouble pinpointing the source. You'll need to explore the area on foot. Put your scanner to work. Don't know what you'll find. Keep your eyes open. And from there, maybe you catch a smile and uncover the source of it all.
We've detached. Let's get out of here.
The city certainly projects a powerful image for the United Colonies, eh? I do appreciate that not every meter of land was plowed under to build this city. This tree is far too grand for such a fate.
I'm sorry, I really can't afford to be distracted. I need to get to the bottom of this. Yes, concerned is an understatement. I work for the scientific division of MAST. I've been studying this tree for quite some time, and it appears to be exhibiting some worrying signs. Are you familiar with this particular specimen? Do you understand its importance?
It is a tree. They are quite prevalent in the city. This one is somehow different.
Yes, of course this one is different. It's only the most important tree in the city, perhaps even all of Jemison. Look, I have a lot of work to do here. If you're just going to gawk, I'd ask that you move on. If you can actually assist me, however, I would appreciate it. I don't normally solicit help from random passersby, but it seems an exception is necessary. Would you be willing to retrieve some additional data for me? Well, thank you. That's unexpected. There's a series of biosensors I've placed in various locations around New Atlantis, all calibrated to gather pertinent information. They've been running for long enough that I think it's time to collect and analyze their findings. If you would bring them to me, that would save time.
Is something amiss?
I'm so excited to see Tony after work.
I feel like I've seen all of it. So, what's the point?
wish that bartender at the viewpoint would stop complaining to security. I don't know what she lost, but she won't get it back by annoying us.
If we can avoid entering that building, I would prefer it. Let us just say I am allergic to bureaucracy. Oh! Need a moment to walk that off?
Hey, are you looking for eggs too? I've only found one so far, but I want to find more before anyone else does. So if you see some, can you tell me? Yeah, it was. Weird, right? Miss Seng over at UC Distribution bought the one I found, and she said she might buy more if I can find them. I could really use the credits.
As you can see, a collective of snakes. The sales keep climbing.
And there are 2 locations in New Atlantis?
Yes. And the sales... Don't be nervous. You got it.
It's a privilege to be able to work for the UC government.
I'm afraid, due to recent legislative action, I'm no longer able to allocate ships. I can, however, deal in general goods. Welcome to UC Distribution. Now, before you say a word, I am required to inform you that formal complaints cannot be filed until the customer feedback system is back online. I have been told it'll be up and running in 2 weeks, but you know how these things are. I am sorry for any potential inconvenience. Also, if you're here about a corporate account, I've been assured that deliveries will be back on schedule soon. You mean besides providing a pleasant face for customers to interact with? It's all in the name. We distribute materials and products all around the United Colonies. Never a dull moment. Always something going on, and 4 other things we need to be ready for. I know some people don't believe it, but we really do the best we can. Wouldn't still be working here if I didn't care. Who, Jordan? That kid's in here every other day with some random thing he found. Trying to get credits. Yeah, I took pity on him. Why, what is it? Oh, really? Well, you can have it back for what I paid for it, plus a little extra. Let's call it a convenience fee, shall we? I could, but I did pay for it. I'd like to recover my losses. And it's all the way in the back room. I'd have to walk back there, then back out here. You did say this was important after all. Honestly, it's probably worth way more than what we're talking about. Suit yourself. You're always welcome back, if you don't mind a bit of a wait.
If it isn't, I need all of the biosensors if the data is to be of any use. Recent scans of the tree have suggested that a significant portion of the interior is liquefied. Obviously, some small percentage of its internal workings is always liquid to allow for the transfer of nutrients and so forth, but this, well, I've never seen anything like it. If it continues to increase, I'm concerned the entire tree may collapse. And I'm also worried about other secondary effects. It's too soon to speculate. I'd very much like to see the additional data before I say more. Yes, well, it's a tree that just happens to exist in the center of the city in which I live, and these changes may have effects on, well, who knows what. Perhaps you could focus on collecting that data before we dismiss the situation entirely. So you do. Wonderful. I'll just take these, and we'll see what they have to tell us. All right, we'll just upload the data. Give it a moment. And just another moment. Oh, it is working, isn't it? Ah, there it is. Relief. Now, let's see. This is... well, it's... oh my. Seems my concerns were valid all along. Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that my suspicions were correct. There is something wrong with the tree. I will report my findings to MAST immediately with no small amount of satisfaction. The phrase, "I told you so," may even be uttered more than once. Yes, it does feel good to be right, particularly when others have attempted to convince you otherwise. Repeatedly. The bad news, as it were, is that the internal composition of the tree is changing. In this particular case, the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. They're nearly imperceptible now, but they're growing in strength. This is something we've never observed before. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. I must consult with my colleagues in MAST at once. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
Engineering earning a single award for that rivals Stroud Equity.
Saw your ship come in.
I am thankful these rides are quick. I do not like being in small, enclosed spaces with many people I do not know.
Yes, what?
Hope life is treating you well. Let me know if I can get you anything. Hey there. Always nice to see a new face. First time in New Atlantis? Oh boy. I didn't mean for you to take it personally. It's just something to say to customers. Break the ice. Know what I mean? Listen, you just relax. Make yourself comfortable. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. That work for you, new guy? Let me know if there's anything I can get you. Bit of a slow news day around here. Ah, well, speaking of news, some folks are convinced David Barron, you know, the SSN anchor, is some sort of Freestar sympathizer. Ridiculous, if you ask me. Sure, they ran a couple of stories about Aquila City that weren't totally critical, but come on. Have you ever been? It's really not that bad. Anyway, that's the sort of high-stakes stuff people talk up while waiting on a flight. So glad you asked, aren't you? I can tell. Yep. Spaceport traffic keeps me pretty busy. But just between you and me, I've got something in the works that'll change everything. A new drink that'll make this place famous, galaxy-wide. You would love it, I guarantee. Only, I can't make you one right now. Don't have the ingredients. I made a deal with a hauler to bring me some small samples of an ingredient I think will make all the difference. But it never showed up. Turns out the guy I hired was also hired by a few other folks. The kind of folks who ship less than legal cargo. Security got wind, and the whole lot was impounded. Now they're just sitting on it, taking their sweet time like they always do. It's killing me. Ah, yes. What with all these extra credits cluttering up the place, why didn't I think of that? Sorry, snark isn't helpful. This stuff was pricey to get a hold of the first time. Very clever of you. Your parents must be so proud. And really, I'm not even certain this is what I need to finish the recipe. I think it is. I need to get my hands on that cargo. I really do. It's gonna keep me awake nights if I don't try. Before we say anything else, I am in no way asking you to do anything that might violate any of the many, many laws in place here in New Atlantis or the larger United Colonies. This is just one friend talking to another friend, asking if maybe that friend could possibly find a way to get her important cargo out of the impound. And if, hypothetically, that were done in a less than 100% legal way, well, that might not be the worst thing in the world. You, with me on this?
This is a dubious request. I am not sure it is worth the risk.
God, you have no idea what a relief this is. I'm obviously not expecting you or anyone to go in guns blazing and taking hostages or something. I just figure there has to be a way to get what I need. Yeah, this is hardly a life or death situation. Some light breaking and entering at worst, right? I'm obviously not expecting you or anyone to go. I know a few things, but not much. The cargo is being held down at the spaceport, not in the security office. Still, they use the same access cards. If you had one, it'd work. How or why you would have a UC security access card is none of my business, of course. I'm sure I'm better off not knowing. Beyond that, the ship decks over there might also be able to get in. I don't know any of them, or I'd be talking to them instead of you. No offense. Like I said, I submitted the usual security release forms. But because my cargo is tied up with a bunch of, again, totally unrelated illegal stuff, I don't expect the forms to matter. At all. I went and talked to an officer at the office, too. Yumi. Sergeant, maybe? He was polite, but unhelpful. I declined to suggest that as their new slogan. New Atlantis Security. Polite, but unhelpful. Truth in advertising, eh? I'm not worried. I'm annoyed. Wait, are you saying I should be worried? No, of course not. It'll be fine. Totally fine. I trust you. See you around.
Yes?
Anything I can help you with?
Good day, Captain.
I find the interior of this ship comforting.
Well.
Such as?
Let me think. Oh, yes.
Hello.
some work done?
Good to see you.
Yeah, what is it?
You have until I get bored to give us what we want, or we're going to blow you into the... We could use a vacation. If you're feeling generous, you could help us out. Or we can just dust your ship. If that's how you want to play it.
Weapon locked. Destroy him!
Never get tired of that. Good to go for landing.
I'll never grow weary of seeing places like this. I would not wish to make too many assumptions about where the credits for all this came from, but it seems that crime does indeed pay. The UC clings to its old ways. I suspect the soul system would be abandoned otherwise.
Be careful down near the mines and enter any.
Do you imagine anyone actually enjoys living here? I simply cannot.
I'm not.
You got the look of a miner about you. Maybe when the new contracts finally open up, you'll give it a go.
We need some rock.
Welcome, welcome. Nice to meet you. Name's Trevor, mining director for the Deimos mining project here in scenic underground Sidonia. I could spare a minute or two to chat, so long as you're not looking for mining work, I suppose. Oh, that! Oh, nothing to worry about. We do fracking on Mars with subterranean particle detonations. Those announcements are just to let people know when to expect them. Now, you probably felt the rumble when the detonations actually go off. That's all it is. Not too bad, eh? Basically, it's high-tech mining. We use immensely powerful controlled particle detonations deep underground to loosen up subterranean gases and other difficult-to-gather resources so we can harvest them. Sounds way more dangerous than it is. Probably. Actually, it's still pretty dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, no worries, mate. I can totally see how it'd be odd if you're not used to it. Just sit down, or be sure you're within reach of something to hold on to if the quaking makes you uneasy, and you'll be fine. Not so bad for one of the oldest mines in the settled systems. We struggle with the lack of decent equipment, but we work hard and make up for it. As I'm sure you know, we're responsible for supplying resources to Deimos Star Yards, which in turn is responsible for supplying UC naval vessels. That, among other major projects, makes us one of the United Colony's most important mining operations. The prestige and pay that comes with it almost makes up for being stationed at the arse end of the settled systems in the middle of nowhere. Argos, huh? Yeah, I've heard of them. That's great, but yeah, unfortunately all our mining contracts are filled right now. Unless, maybe you could help me out with a job. Off the books. I love the enthusiasm. Now do yourself a favour and get to know some of the miners. It'll remind you what you're doing this for. Anyway, I'm getting off track. See, you might have noticed that our equipment ain't exactly holding together like it used to. Problem is, we can't get new equipment unless we start exceeding our quotas, and we can't do that until we get new equipment. A real dilemma, right? I've got a plan for solving our little problem, though. Okay, glad you're still on board. First, I need someone from the outside to bolster our yields so we can prove that we can exceed our quota. I'll fill you in on the rest of the details after you've hauled up some ore. One standard quota should do. I need to know I can trust you with the easy stuff first. When you've got enough, drop it off in the bin over there for processing. Then come see me.
Citizens are advised to take caution near the military outpost on the city's outskirts due to frequent live-fire exercises. It is also advised to use only approved ship landing pads, as the UC Marines are not responsible for hull damage caused by stray munitions.